To all of you, a greeting from Hermosillo, Sonora. The question, first of all, I would like to congratulate all of the panelists for this wonderful topic. Our question for you is the following. We, in fact, understand that Internet does offer a fabulous opportunity for commercial exchange and trade, but at the same time it does imply certain risks, and for all of us who do use this medium as, for instance, with credit cards, and we are the only people responsible to offer that credit card number, for instance, and the moment we do give the number to the other part when we are trading or when we are doing commerce, buying or selling, we have no chance to cancel or modify. So how secure, how will we regulate, or how should we regulate in order for this to be a private and safe transaction and for it to be reliable, and so to make sure that the negotiation will not be a conflict, that they will not change the number or because also plastic money, will it be substituting that, or do you think we will continue to use the normal currency, normal money, or will we use more plastic money?
Well, I could start. First of all, I think that in doing e-commerce, it's critically important to work with very reputable organizations that have established the highest level of security, and there are 2 or 3 that are very well known on the Internet today. In terms of the fears of people changing numbers, most credit cards have certain protections that they guarantee on activities like that. And also, just think about when you go to a restaurant and all the people that have access to your number and how they could use that or change that. This is a fear that has existed for a long time about credit cards, but seems to be handled well, and I don't think the Internet will change that.
That has been, it seems to me, a dramatic change in consumer comfort with the Internet in the last year or 2.
That's right.
We have a question from Guadalajara, from the Universidad Autónoma de Guadalajara in Mexico. Welcome.
My question is, are there any specific projects to create a telecommunications net that is reliable? And in the U.S., is there any legislation or laws on computers? Because here in Mexico, we are just beginning to develop that.
In terms of regulating computers and who can buy them, or I don't think I understand that question.
Can we clarify the question?
Sobre la pregunta. I'm referring to the legal framework, laws that regulate computer use and computers in general. Are there any laws that are standardizing computer use and computer science in general?
Okay, I understand. Right now, there really are not regulatory bodies that are establishing the languages of the computer. There are rules that validate processes that have already been widespread usage, but it's really consumer usage that defines the standards. And in terms of rules that still need to come, I think the most important rules that haven't been established yet are an ownership of content, and how that will be regulated will probably be defined in the next couple of years.
That's absolutely right. And right now, for example, the U.S. Congress is holding hearings throughout the United States to receive input from the education institutions as far as distance education, intellectual property rights are concerned. Who owns the course? Does the faculty own the course, or the university, so forth and so on?
And we have a question from Panama, from the Universidad Tecnológico de Panamá. Welcome. Your question, please.
Buenos días. Our question is, does Internet 2, will Internet 2 replace the other one? In what way will this affect the economy of the users? And the other question, is there a new technology is there any new development that incorporates the traditional management styles and methods into these new technologies?
Want me to try?
Sure.
Okay. Internet 2 will not replace the traditional Internet. It will supplement and enhance it. It will be just a seamless, gradual evolution to broader band. And in terms of does the Internet or electronic communication build on what has previously been established, absolutely. The electronic is built on human nature and how to manage and control human nature. So everything that's known in a traditional space has to be incorporated into the electronic space. There are some differences, but the base is the same.
There are a number of graduate programs in management that are looking at information technologies and how information technologies are changing the way that we manage organizations. I would just take the top 10 school of businesses throughout the world and look and see what they are doing in terms of incorporating information technology into new management styles.
Thank you for your excellent questions. Let us now turn to Module 2. In this, Dr. Gruber will tell us about the technology of streaming media on the Internet.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm going to give you an overview of streaming media over the Internet for online video, how it evolved, how it works, what the current applications are, and how they are being used. It's no secret these days that the Internet is a very powerful interactive communications and information tool. According to International Data Corporation, the annual growth rate of web users is about 36%, while electronic commerce is expected to grow at a rate of 103% annually. In addition, Jupiter Communications has published that online advertising is expected to grow at an annual rate of 54%, and web hosting at 96%. The Internet is rapidly evolving into a powerful new medium that is as significant as television and radio, but it is being adopted by consumers at a much higher rate in a much shorter time, and obviously has the potential to revolutionize many more aspects of consumers' lives. So, what is streaming media on the Internet? Well, let's start at the beginning. When the Internet first emerged, it basically only provided static text. As computer processors got quicker, connection speeds increased, and bandwidth became more available, static graphics were added to text. From there, we saw the addition of animated graphics, and as the technology continued to advance quickly, sometimes quicker than the end users could keep up with, we were then able to download audio and video clips. Because the downloads took such a long time, those of us in the Internet business thought that if we continuously stream the audio and video files rather than download entire files, end users would be much more inclined to spend more time on the website and become a recurring visitor. The end user could simply listen to or watch the clips as they came through. Also, we could interact with our computers on a level we could never do with television. But how does it work? In order to understand how streaming media gets to our desktops as end users, let's look a little behind the scenes. The successful delivery of streaming media over the Internet presents numerous challenges. First, the delivery network must be able to handle high capacities of information traffic and provide simultaneous users with reliable access and a high level of performance. Second, the audio and video must be delivered at the best possible quality for all users at all modem and connection speeds so they'll want to view or listen. And third, the delivery network must provide round-the-clock performance monitoring and quality assurance for websites and end users so the entire experience can unfold as smoothly as possible with the fewest glitches or interruptions. In the case of high-volume events where numerous Internet users want to access the same streaming media content at the same time, audio and video delivery is more challenging. This is because when high numbers of users log on to the website where the broadcast is occurring, it can create a potential for congestion and Internet bottlenecks caused by bandwidth limitations and slow computers. So, what are the solutions? How do you optimally deliver the best quality audio and video over the Internet? Well, it's all in the network that is built to deliver the streaming media. When I first started this business with our co-founder, Brian, we set out to create a network specifically dedicated to serving online audio and video. The architecture we developed gives it a unique ability to successfully manage, deliver, and redirect large audio and video files over the Internet. We do this by strategically distributing media delivery centers or servers across Internet service provider backbone networks that meet strict performance requirements. Then, when the audio or video file is accessed by an end user, the network finds the delivery center electronically closest to the end user for optimal audio and video quality. This dispersed network architecture allows the company to handle very high volumes of simultaneous Internet users while achieving minimal delays in the delivery of first-rate video and audio to users' computers. So what does it take for a consumer like you to access streaming media? Well, it is fairly simple. All you need is a computer with a processor speed of 75 megahertz or more, a sound card, and Internet access. The speed of your connection to the Internet has the biggest impact on quality of video or audio. The 28.8 kilobits per second data rate is the minimum speed a user will need to experience streaming media. Audio and video streamed at 300 kilobits per second data rate or higher is near broadcast quality and is available over the Internet today. However, the industry is looking forward to the day when broadband or high-speed Internet access, like 300 kilobits per second, is more widely adopted. Okay, so now that I have given you an overview of what streaming media is, how it works, and how we have developed a system to deliver the best quality images to your desktops, I'd like to now discuss the applications of streaming media and some of the early adopters. I have been in the Internet business since its birth into the mainstream, and what I have concluded is that civilization is undergoing a transformation as great as the Industrial Revolution. As in any revolution, there is a loss of current order and the establishment of a new order. The digital revolution, as driven by the Internet, is creating a new order, especially in the entertainment and in communication industries. The entertainment industry is increasingly recognizing the power of the Internet as an efficient means of distribution. A recent Forrester research report entitled Webcasting's New Model stated that of the entertainment and news companies surveyed, an overwhelming 94% indicated that they plan to increase the amount of internet broadcasts they do next year. The standards of the new order for audio and video communication, as driven by entertainment, are being defined right now and will be carved in stone, or should we say silicon, in less than 1 year. So, you ask, what are the factors controlling standards in the digital, audio, and video communication? The forces controlling the entertainment industry standards are different than the forces controlling the standards in the computer industry. In entertainment, content is king. Maybe not at first, but ultimately the content owner defines where, when, and how distribution will occur to the consumer. In computing, the end user defines the system he or she will use. So the entertainment industry is leading the migration into streaming media, and we have focused on the content producer for this exact reason. As an example, Interview is currently the service provider for streaming movie trailers on the Turner Classic Movies website and has also delivered live webcasts of premiere parties for such American films including The X-Files movie and The Thin Red Line over Turner Network's television's website. TBS Superstation also uses our services to entice end users to watch their programming. This way, TBS taps into an entirely new audience that they could never have reached before. By utilizing streaming media to visually enhance and enrich the end user's internet experience, companies can gain a competitive advantage by driving traffic to their websites while offering differentiated content. Streaming media also has the power to keep the end user at the site for extended periods of time, offering a more entertaining and interactive online experience while increasing viewer loyalty, repeat visits, brand awareness, and e-commerce transactions. Many news and entertainment companies are actually turning their websites into an entirely new vehicle. But streaming media is not just limited to news and entertainment industries. The business-to-business space is also adopting streaming media at a fast pace. Many public companies are using the internet to webcast their stockholder meetings. Traditionally, it has been difficult to get even 40% of stockholders to show up to a meeting, but by webcasting the event, you can add on an additional 30% of attendees. There's no travel necessary, and end users can participate from their computers at work or at home. In addition, companies like Saatchi & Saatchi, a top global advertising firm, and BMG Distribution are utilizing internet video distribution to enhance customer service and business processes. Saatchi & Saatchi is utilizing streaming media to deliver proprietary commercials, product information, and other multimedia creative works to the agency's global clients and internal offices over the internet. This enables Saatchi & Saatchi to offer state-of-the-art, full-screen, or streamed video and audio to desktops anywhere, anytime, using premium video technologies. This system saves both time and expenses for employees and their clients. BMG Distribution is making over 8,000 CDs available for their widely dispersed vendors to go online to a password-protected website and sample the CDs to make more informed buying decisions. The interactive experience that streaming music provides to the vendors will not only increase sales, but will also improve customer service. By providing vendors with a convenient and user-friendly medium to listen to their selections, they can feel confident that they are making the right business decisions for their stores and be more comfortable with their purchases. Educational institutions and businesses are also adopting streaming media as they look to lower expenses and expand the accessibility of educational information. Streaming media can be easily integrated into a university's or a company's online program, enabling educators to become broadcasters and students to minimize travel expenses and make more efficient use of their time. In addition, through the use of online educational programs, there is no practical limit to the classroom size, so educational institutions can potentially train a much higher number of students per program. So now that I've covered some of the applications of streaming media, I'd like to take a brief moment to discuss my company, Interview. As the leading streaming media company, Interview has been paving the road for small and large companies to take advantage of its benefits since 1995. Industry leaders like NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and Bloomberg are turning to Interview to deliver live and on-demand or archived events. Interview provides an outsourced service to deliver live webcasting and video and audio on-demand services. Live webcasting includes both live events and 24-hour-per-day streaming services, such as continuous radio broadcasts. On-demand services allow Interview customers to store video and audio clips on our network and make them available to end users through their websites. Interview is a full-service provider, offering all of the services necessary for streaming media, including production, encoding, uplinking, website integration, distribution, audience building, reporting, and archiving. With Interview's outsourced service, our customers do not need to invest in any hardware, software, or staff to manage the equipment that it takes to do streaming media. In terms of costs, as an example, if you wanted to stream a 1-hour program, it could cost as low as $800. The primary cost variables are the length of your content, how many people you are expecting to access your content, if it is alive or pre-taped, and at what modem speeds you would like the content to be encoded into. From press conferences to breaking news events, we have covered it. Some of the larger events Interview has recently supported include CNN.com's and MSNBC's live coverage from the Clinton impeachment trials, live coverage on the bombing of Kosovo, and NASA's coverage of the John Glenn Space Shuttle Discovery launch. Interview streamed and/or promoted this NASA event through 7 different websites, including CNN, Lycos, MSNBC, Microsoft Network, NASA, National Space Society, and Yahoo. Interview has developed a suite of services that automate the publishing, distribution, and programming of video and audio content. Website owners and content publishers use Interview's automated solutions to more quickly and efficiently add video and audio content to websites. To avoid purchasing or developing costly software and hardware and hiring employees with video and audio expertise, and benefit from the economies of scale Interview can generate by buying internet bandwidth in bulk. Our recently introduced solution, called Interview Presents, allows business users to distribute video and audio presentations with synchronized Microsoft PowerPoint slides over the internet. This service is intended primarily for businesses and educational institutions. Interview Presents includes a fully automated registration process to manage end-user access to content. Imagine how much more convenient, cost-effective, and less time-consuming it would be to view a presentation from the comfort of your own desk rather than traveling to a faraway location to watch the presentation. Interview Audience is another significant service that we launched late last year that provides website owners with an easy-to-use, comprehensive solution for bringing people to live events. Interview Audience includes an automated email ticketing function and generates a desktop reminder for the end user before the requested event. Interview Audience then launches the end user's browser, takes them to the web page with the video or audio content, launches the appropriate streaming media player, and starts the audio or video stream. We have used Interview Audience for events including EarthCam's webcast of the world-famous New Year's Eve celebration in New York's Times Square, and NASA's Mars Polar Lander launch, where 70% of the participants who received an electronic ticket from Interview attended the event. These applications and tools are only a few of the many examples of how streaming media is being used to provide end users with a richer, more interactive experience on the Internet. So, as you can see, streaming media is revolutionizing the Internet. But on a broader scale, streaming media is changing the way we see the world, from how we get our news, listen to our music, to how we educate ourselves. We are undergoing a digital revolution, and we all have the privilege here today to be part of it and to mold its shape. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Dr. Gruber. Let us continue with the second question and answer session. We have a question from the Centro Universitario de Tijuana, the campus Mexicali in Mexicali, Baja. Welcome. Your question, please.
Today, is there some organization or institution that regulates the use of web for bad or dishonest uses, for instance, pornography, neo-Nazism, or frauds with credit cards, for instance? Is there a possibility to accept websites that have technology that requires transference to 56K?
Okay. Yes, there are definitely U.S. government agencies that regulate credit card fraud on the Internet. They regulate, or they're very aggressive about tracking down hackers, and there have actually been some hackers who have been caught and have gone to jail. And there are other organizations that are concerned with pornographic issues, with gambling, and with right-wing fanaticism. And so, yeah, there are agencies that definitely involved, but a lot of the traditional agencies use the Internet to track down people they're otherwise looking for.
Mm-hmm. We have a question from Brazil, from the Servicio Nacional de Aprendizagem Comercial in Porto Alegre, Brazil. Welcome. Your question, please.
Tardes. Which companies are dedicated to develop software for translation software, and in what way can these resources help overcoming the cultural differences, particularly language differences, for the web to be a little more user-friendly if it speaks several languages? What is being done in this regard?
Well, there are several companies that are involved in providing software for language translation. My children who take Spanish in school were showing me how they could easily translate their English into Spanish, and I told them I thought that was cheating. But there's also software that is translates English into Japanese and Chinese and vice versa. And in terms of the names of the companies, I think, again, you'd have to go through search engines and look for translation companies.
Actually, Alta Vista, which is one of the search engines, does that to a certain extent.
Yes. We've been struggling with translations of some technical terms for these sessions. Software, internet, no translation. Today, video streaming is a challenge. How do you say streaming in a language which hasn't developed that use of it yet?